What up, everybody? You're now tuned into Candid Conversations. I'm your host, Brandon Lampley. We back here with another episode. I got my man Shawn Taylor here again with me today. I mean, we had a great last talk. We talked about masculinity and how it's at an all-time low. Some really good points we hit on in that show. So if you haven't checked that out, you can check it back on my Facebook or you can check it out on YouTube. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, all those good things, man. But today's topic, we're talking about apologizing and accountability. I mean,
Mm,
those two
mm,
tell you seen Sean face just now.
mm,
That right there,
mm.
man. I mean, you can point to those two things being the root cause of probably majority of beefs. Like, I mean, you got people, dislike people, whether you got family, friends, or whoever. But any issues that you can have, especially in personal relationships, being accountable and apologizing are probably the top two, and why people fall out. What's your thoughts on it?
Well, man, I've been having a lot. What's up, good people? What's up, good people? First and foremost, what's up, good people? If I sound a little bit choppy, brother is working on some things, trying to get this stuff straight. So y'all just bear with it, brother. So this apologizing thing. Now, with all due respect to the ladies, with all due respect, this does not go for all ladies because I can't speak on all ladies. I only can speak on some experience that I've experienced on the apologizing. I don't understand why some women have a problem with apologizing. And one of the things that I've experienced, the women would say, is you know how I am. That's a form of an apology, but it's not a direct apology. But um, sometimes, what in my experience, some women they want to justify themselves in being right. But my question is it important? Is being right more important than your partnership? Is being right more important than the partnership? For me, being right is not even worth it for me. If I'm wrong, I'm gonna nail it right then and there. I'm not gonna let it fester into something else because when we allow things to just fester, they get so big. Now we can't contain it. It's like a fire that's out of control. You can't
Yeah.
do anything to bring it into containment. If you ever seen forest fires that get out of containment and get out of control, they get so big that it takes forever to get it contained. That's my analogy. The same when it comes to a woman not apologizing to her man or a man not apologizing to their woman. For me, if a person is too big to apologize, they show me what I'm worth to them. They show me my value to them if they can't apologize to me. So I'm not worth an apology. But she's going to want that apology from me.
No
I
doubt.
don't I don't understand the one-sidedness. So B, what's your take on that? That one-sided why
Yeah. Oh
can't
yeah.
why do we have to apologize and the woman doesn't? I don't know.
Yeah. Shout out to Ness. Thanks for tuning in. He say it's becoming rare to find these things in today's society. He say, "Do you want to be right or do you want to be happy?" Hey,
Hey,
hey, that's it
hey,
right there. Ness. Kevin Samuels talked about that. He said, "We the most losingest people." He said, "Do you
right.
want to be right or do you want to win?" Which one do you want? Which one do you want? And I agree with that, Sean, especially when it comes to relationships just between men and women. I mean, let's be honest, man. We know the truth. And my mom says she's talking about why you gotta just slap him the way you do. I said, hey, it's just me. That's how I gotta do it. But I mean, come on, we know, and then people joke about it all the time, but it's a real thing that you know a lot of women lack accountability. They do.
Right.
Now, of course, they'll say, well, it's men that lack accountability. Yeah, we usually call them Pookies and Ray Rays, but that's neither here nor there. But let's be honest, they do because
Right.
not wanting to like the apologies, man. And I know you done been through this because you done been doing dating way longer than me. But when
Yes,
it comes
sir.
to them and apologizing, it's never a direct, I'm sorry for this or I'm sorry for that or I apologize for this or I apologize for that. No, it's indirect. whether it's gifts or like you said, they say, well, you know how I am, or one of my favorites, well, I'm sorry you felt that way. Oh,
Oh,
okay,
oh,
okay, oh yeah,
oh
oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 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 that one right there, that one right
That's a
there.
B. That's the most. I think that's got to be in the top three. It's got
Yeah.
to be in the top three. Oh,
Hmm.
I'm sorry you feel that way, man. That's still not apology. So for me, it's almost like, and we may have touched on this in the last segment. It's almost like women think we don't have any feelings.
Yeah.
Like they can't hurt our feelings, or uh, we're immune to having our feelings hurt.
Hmm.
No, all men have feelings. We just show and we exude it a little bit. We just do it a little bit differently than women do, but we still have feelings, and holding our women accountable for letting them know, hey, you know what, this bothered me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This just really bothered me how you handle this situation. So, am I not? Is it not okay for me to feel a certain way about something that you done to me, and I want an apology for you to show me how much you mean to me? But you would want that in return, and there's a huge disconnect on that one, brother.
Oh
Huge
yeah,
disconnect.
man. Oh,
Huge
that's the other
disconnect.
one. That's say, or they try to offer sex as a cover and try because that BS don't work with me. That's one too. That's one too right there. I mean, I've had women tell me to just get over it. The straight up to my face. She's like, "Can you just get over it? I mean, can we just move past this?" I said, "What?" That right there let me know everything I needed to know at that point anyway. But I was still simping, so I still dealt with her. But it is what it is. No.
Well, I appreciate your honesty, brother, because I'd have done the
Hey,
same thing. And
yeah.
I've even I'm gonna give y'all the PG version of this. I've even told women that, you know what, you know, I may be mad, but my penis ain't mad. And see, that's just straight ignorance on my part.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's
I mean,
just
they know that's
right,
and I
right,
heard a guy say his name is Rolo Tomasi. He said women's know that their only real agency with men is their sexuality. That's what's going to get results. I mean, that's
right.
pretty much what it is. At the end of the day, that's what it's usually about. Because men don't care about your degrees. You got more degrees than a thermometer. We don't care. We don't care about your money. We don't care about your education, your house, your cars, your
Mhm,
status,
mhm.
your celebrity. You're not. We don't care about those things.
Right, right, right.
You know.
If
Oh,
I
hey,
feel
hey,
it's
Nesco say no.
we
You know how
see
we do, Ness.
but that's so true. We don't really care about those things. You know, we really don't, man. We just I think for me, I know for me it's the respect.
Yeah.
I want her respect. I want her to respect me as a man, respect my position, what we have. All that other stuff, man. My head is not there. My head is not okay. Well, what kind of car she drive? I mean, how many men you say? Hey, you have a man? Have you ever heard a man say what kind of car she drive? Where she work at? I mean,
Never.
how much money she make?
Never. I could come to you today, and I come into the gym right now and say, "Hey, man, talking to this girl, man. I met her the other day. She was all on me, this and that and the third. Nothing out of Sean's mouth is going to be about her job, how much money she makes, her education, what kind of clothes she wears, shoes,
Hmm.
whether she got stocks and bonds, is she popular, is she the model? No, hey B, how she look?
Hey,
That's it.
hey, I didn't want to interrupt you, but that's exactly what I was going to ask you.
That's it.
But that's where our head goes. Hey, B,
Yeah,
what's she looking like? What's she working with? I mean, that's the first thing that's going to come to our mind, not none of that other stuff. But with those other things, women look for those. They
Yeah,
want to know,
because
is he working? Which is very important now. That brother need a job. Brother got
yeah.
brother, you got to be employed by somebody. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
but all those other things, that's what women look for. But you know why? I heard Dr. Miles Monroe break down the husband and the wife and the kids. Man, that was the dopest breakdown I've ever seen. It was so dope. And he broke down the word husband. And at the end, he had, okay, the husband is the president, the wife is the vice president, the kids are board members.
Yeah.
You know, we as men, we always have to watch being sensitive to women and the safety in that
Hmm.
sensitivity.
Yeah.
And the woman, he said something which was so profound, and I never thought about that. And then I went back into every relationship, marriages I've ever been into, why I naturally call a woman, my woman, baby.
Hmm.
Like I call my little girl, baby. So if the woman is your baby, it's your job to provide, take care of. You're the glue to everything. But here's the downside of that. Here's the flip side to that. If that glue is removed, nothing is hold together. Once the
Nope.
glue, we are the glue. The dudes are the glue. Oh my God. B, my daughter gotta go to the party right now, man. Are you serious?
Oh,
You gotta go again?
all right.
B,
I got you. I got you. Just
B,
hold on.
hold.
I
Can
got
you
you.
hold? I know you can keep
Yeah, I
talking
can
till I
hold it.
get back.
Yeah,
All
I can
right,
hold it down. I can hold it down.
let's go, little mama.
Got you. But Lisa Reed, yeah, it's not about what we look like. Yes, we know. Enesco, you're not going to disrespect my opinion and try and give sexual healing play a game. Not me. Yeah, yeah, Ness. I feel that. I feel that because I mean, just even but besides just between men and women, just shoot, man to man. I mean, apologizing and being accountable for your actions is paramount because at the end of the day, if I know I can't count on you, if I know that if we get into something and I know you're not accountable for your actions, like I can't be around you, man. Like they say, man, I would want that guy in the foxhole with me. I would want that guy watching my six. I would want that guy, if we going in the battle, I want to take this guy with me. That's where accountability comes in and you being accountable, but we do lack accountability today. I mean, we have a society now where they don't want to hold don't a lot of people don't want to hold people accountable for their actions. I mean, most guys, men, period, men know that depending on what we do, the way we go about things in life, we are we pretty much are going to be held accountable very quickly, depending on what it is, especially man to man. So OMG, man to man is even worse. Oh man, Ness, man, you want to talk about dudes holding grudges? I mean, you got fathers who haven't apologized to sons for something they did to them in their youth, man. Shoot, you got mothers who haven't apologized to their children and have been accountable for the things that they've done to them in their life and the hand that they played and why that person is the way they are, man. So yeah, you're right, Ness. But no, I was just saying, Sean, we was talking about how we talk about accountability. I'm saying just man to man, I need to be able to count on you. I said, because we going into battle, we going into the foxhole. I need you to be able to watch my back. I need you to be able to watch my six. So if you're not accountable, I mean, dude, I can't do anything with you. It's like
Wow.
that's like a broke man. Broke, like what Granny say, broke man is like a broke hand. You can't do nothing with him.
Now, as far as that I'm gonna piggyback on accountability. One thing my mother said, God bless her soul. One thing my mom used to say is she used to tell me all the time, and she used to always reiterate this over and over. She used to press this issue, and she said, Sean, you know how women hold you guys accountable about everything? You have to hold them accountable to the same standard. My mom was, my mom agreed that she would say a relationship is 50-50. But for me, being in a relationship is, I would say, is pretty much 85-15%. So, because it seems like everything is always catered to the woman. You got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do that. You got to deal with her emotions. You got to deal with her mental acuity. You got to deal with everything that she goes through. But then when it comes to us, we at a lot of times we're on an island by ourselves.
Hmm.
And the man has to deal with all those things and keep a straight poker face about what he's going through. And then when he gets to the boiling point, things just boil over because no one is attentive. It's okay to be attentive to my sexual needs, but how about my my mindset? The
Yeah.
things that's going on up in here that I got to deal with. If you supposed to be watching my six, like you just said, B, I need you just be concerned about what's going up in my head, opposed to everything else. You're supposed to be my go-to. You're supposed to be my best friend. So I need you to make sure that mentally that I'm okay. It's okay to ask me, hey baby, everything all right? You good? How's everything going upstairs? It's all right to have those conversations to where we're trying to elevate our relationship to be better. But if I'm just concerned about you and you have little minimal concern about me, how is that a healthy relationship or partnership?
Yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right because if you're dealing with somebody in a relationship who can't be accountable for their actions, man, that's pretty bad. And then this is another thing too. You can't. Let's see. I'm trying to see the best way to word this. You can't dictate how someone felt about something that you did. You can't. That is how they felt. Regardless
Right,
of whether you agree with how they felt about it, that is how they felt. So there's no
right,
negotiation on how someone felt about something that you did to them. They said that this bothered them, this hurt them, this made them feel bad. Okay, well, that's how they felt. You need to be accountable and apologize. That's how they felt.
right.
That's when well, I'm sorry you felt that way. No, 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 we're not doing that. That is what we're not doing. You see,
B.
Nesco say a man without accountability is like a blindly shooting in a room full of people. Innocent people will be damaged, and he doesn't care.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's real right there, Ness. That's real, bro. That is so real right there. We have to, for me, there is nobody more critical or judgmental of myself than Sean.
yep,
You can't criticize me more than I criticize myself. You can't judge me more than I even judge myself. You can't even be hard on me more than I'm hard on myself. Because in a lot of ways in my day-to-day life, I'm pretty much a perfectionist and I want things done right. So when I mess up, I'm going to try my best not to make the same mistake twice, but I'm going to hold myself accountable. But I still need that input from
mm-hmm.
my woman of my shortcomings. Because sometimes we may think we doing everything right, Ness. We may think we doing everything right, and in retrospect, we far from it.
Yeah,
But it's like we talked about in the last segment. We just gotta, men, we have to learn how to communicate with our women, and women have to learn how to properly communicate with their men. And what we got to, here's the thing with women, mostly from what I've seen, it's like everything is justifiable. I can't justify my wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Why am I going to justify it? That means
right.
there's no true remorse. I'm
Yeah,
not remorseful for what I did wrong. Now this is something that I have seen outside and inside of a relationship, like with other people's relationships and then with mine. We can do the same thing. We can do the same mistake. I have to pay a price. Hers is justified.
yeah,
There's no
yeah,
apology. There's no remorse. And you will sit and look at that situation. And I've done this in the past and even felt even worse for her not. It's almost it's almost like I remember Eddie Murphy did a stand up and he was He was talking about Mr. T, and he's like, I did the old Jedi mind trick. He said, you was talking about me. He said, no, I wasn't. He said, yes, you was. He said, no, I wasn't. Yes, you was. Maybe I did. It's almost like the old Jedi mind trick. And you sitting there and you're like, how, man, I'm feeling worse than I even that I did. And she'll turn around and go right to sleep and just
Oh my
leave
God.
you
Oh my
with nothing.
God, Sean.
How many
Sean.
times have I had a disagreement with a woman and she then went right to sleep on me like I was nothing? But
Mm.
let me do that to her, all hell gonna break loose, brother. All hell gonna break loose.
Sean,
Yes,
listen.
sir. Yes, sir.
Them, especially that right there, and then the um I don't know, because you just brought up on wait. That's I was reading this. My bad. See, amen to that, brother. That's what's missing in the world. Self-cleaning is a must. I give myself a personal gut cleaning as much as possible. Yeah,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
yeah. Because I when you were going, I talked about that and how men pay the price like almost seemingly right away a lot of times when we do things. Men pay a price. Society holds us accountable for the things that we do. I mean, if you really think about it, women don't really have to be truly accountable because they never truly lose. Like they don't truly lose because a woman could do everything wrong in life and she'll still have a place to stay. She'll still have food to eat. She'll still be able to get jobs and probably even and have decent transportation probably most of the time. But if a man makes all the wrong decisions in life, yeah, he's across from the Salzbacher laying on the grass. You know what I'm saying? Like he's homeless. He's homeless
Right.
and he's without. But
Right.
they never truly lose. And then even with that one, there's always some simp ready to come in and save the day, no matter regardless of how she looks. So how can she be held accountable? Is if she any decision she makes, she still is going to be fine.
Yeah.
And so we have to look at it. You do have to look at it that way. You do have to
Mm.
look at it that way. And then we're not even gonna get into the um a man does not need you to bring up his shortcomings to his face.
Oh.
We don't need that. That's
Mm.
I don't need you to do that. I'm going to hold myself accountable
Mhm.
first and foremost. And even if I don't, I know what my shortcomings are because what I told you, I say our shortcomings are right here in our face
Right.
every
Right.
single day when we wake up. The world tells me I don't measure up every single day. I don't need you to remind me of that. That's where a lot of arguments start. Like my mom talked about it. She said in her marriage, she said one of the things that she had to realize is that her mouth. She said her mouth was a trigger, and
Ooh.
so
Ooh.
when her husband, going through having work issues, money and stuff like that, she
Right.
suggested him going to work at fast food joints. He went off like going to work at fast food joints. Like no, like he's sitting around not trying to do nothing. Like and not saying that you too good to do that, but he's like, yo, I'm out here trying to do such and such and such. But now you talking about fast food joints. No, I'm not doing that. Say our femininity is our power. Thank you, Miss Lisa. Yes, that's true. That's true.
Lisa just hit on something. So here's the thing. When we talk about accountability and apologizing, women, I'm gonna give you some really good advice coming from the male's perspective. You got to talk to him with respect, or he does not hear you. Everything you say is gonna be like the teacher on Charlie Brown. Womp, 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 womp. We don't hear you and we don't respond. And that is going to keep you even more ticked off because you are refusing to hold yourself accountable by how you are talking to these men out here. You cannot talk to that man in a disrespectful manner and expect him to hear you. Men will never, ever respond to that. All you're going to do is push him further away from you.
Yep.
If you don't get that mouth under, get it in check, he is not, you cannot talk to that man. I don't want to say this, the word, because it's your show, B. Because B, my show gonna be like, oh, no holds
Hey, hey,
barred. It's gonna be full out there.
hey, I tell you, like I told Mr. Leander, I did my show I did with Pastor Palmer.
Right,
I say, hey,
right,
I want my guests as comfortable as possible. I had a rapper on the other day.
right.
Hey, he talked how he wanted to talk, and I let him go. So do your
Okay.
thing.
So here's the thing, ladies. You cannot talk to us like we're your bitch. Okay.
Yeah,
You cannot talk to us like we're your kids. We're grown men. Okay. You're not paying my bills. I go to work every day, early morning. I come home late. I work hard. I'm a hard working man. What I'm not going to deal with at the end of the day is you talking to me like I'm your bitch, and you talking to me like I'm your kid. My mom is dead and gone. That's the only mother I had. I ain't looking for another. She's the only one. Nobody can never fill her shoes. But you can't talk to your man as if he's your woman and you talk to him like he's a little boy. You got to,
yeah.
if you don't talk to him in a respectful manner, we don't hear you. And I say that with the most due respect. We don't hear you. If you talk to him respectfully, I guarantee you he's gonna respond.
And I'm about to expound on that, Sean. Let's see.
Yes,
Good,
sir.
Brandon. Women don't understand that because they have never been put in the position to have to understand how men survive in this world. Oh, yes, Ness.
Wow.
Ness.
Ness, that's
I don't
good boy.
care. I don't care how bad, some women have had it in this lifetime to the coldness of being a man. It stares at you every day because you know that if you don't do what you need to do, you will be on the street. You
Right.
will die. That's it. It's that. It's sink or swim for men. There's no ifs,
Right.
ands, or buts about it. The world is not safety padded. There are not programs. Like look at shelters. Look at shelters for the homeless. There's two men's shelters in this country. That's 50 states, over like 2,500 shelters. Two are specifically for men.
Two.
Two, that's what
Mm-hmm.
society thinks about me as a man. You got to
Right.
go get it. That's where accountability comes in. You got to
Right.
hold yourself accountable.
Yeah. You
Let's
do.
see. No man wants a mouthy woman. These women need to learn to curb their mouth. Man, mouth is a trigger.
Woo we Lisa
Hey,
talking
hey,
today, boy.
Lisa, they might cancel you for that one, Lisa. They might call you a pick me. They might cancel you. They don't like when
Watch
women
out.
talk like that, Miss Lisa.
Yeah, Lisa. They don't like it when you take our side.
Mm-mm. See, us real men know your femininity is your power. We as men need to know and respect ours as men. Yeah.
Some woman gonna look
Oh
at that
yeah.
and be like, she need to shut up.
Yep. And piggybacking off of what you were saying earlier, um, about them talking to us crazy. See, and this is the thing. The stats back this up, Sean. Men don't leave relationships. Women do. Women initiate 80% of the divorces. So
Right.
women are the ones who leave relationships. Men don't.
Right.
Men will stay. But this
Right.
is the thing about men staying. A man will stay, and like you say, you demean him, you talk down to him, you treat him like a kid. He'll stay there, especially if you guys have kids together. But mentally, he's checked
He
out.
gone. Oh, he been gone.
He's
He gone.
gone. He's
Brandon,
gone.
I have done that. I've done that in a lot of relations. I mean, just been mentally checked out, but just I'm present, but gone.
Gone.
I'm not even there. It's just a shell of myself, just is there. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. You got an alien with you because I'm already
Yep.
gone. Sean already left.
Yep.
He is mentally gone. And there's a saying that people check out psychologically, mentally before they check out physically.
Yep.
That is extremely, extremely true. And God, B, that was that boy. That was such man. That was such a profound statement that you said. But I mean, it's true, man. It's true. It's true.
Yeah. Yeah. TD
I
Jakes
can't.
talks about it. And that one I sent you, Model Homes, he talks about that.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He talks about
Oh
that.
man.
Yeah.
It, it, and I just I don't understand. And B, let me tell you something, man. I've done some hurting of women, and women have hurt me. But what I don't bring to the table is those hurts. Because when your attitude, when you bring in your attitude from your past and people you've dealt with in your past into your present, and you penalize that man or you penalize that woman based off stuff you went through, that's not fair to nobody. They
Yeah.
had nothing to do with your past. You need to leave your past exactly there. You need to leave it there or get over it before you try to start something anew with any male or with any female. Because
Yeah.
that's not every woman is the same, not every man is the same, and it's not fair for that person to pay for something that you actually went through. And you can have something great that you never had before, but you're gonna mess it up because why? You feel as if you're entitled to have that type of attitude toward that man, or feel as if you're entitled to have that attitude toward that woman. It's just not right. It ain't cool.
Yeah.
But we do it all
No,
the
and
time.
you're right.
We
Yeah.
do it all
See,
the time,
Nesco
brother.
say men will stay. The problem is we want to stay after we done, got caught, and the woman is fed up. We as men got to become cultivators. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. And
true.
then men, a lot of men do that too. They'll do
Right.
bad things or they'll do the wrong thing, and then they want to beg her to hit her with the please, baby, baby, please. And I'm like, hey man, could you cut it out? You sound like Keith Sweat. Stop begging. Um, yeah, like nobody wants to hear that. And that's where accountability comes in. Like just what you said, recognizing that you've been through some pain, you've had some trauma, and not even from past relationships, just in your life in general.
Right.
Recognizing those things have happened to you and doing the thing, taking the steps and doing the necessary things you need to do to heal, whether that's therapy, that's mental health checkups,
Right.
going within and doing the work. I will tell you one thing: therapy is good, and one of these days when I can afford it, I'll definitely go to a therapist and work out some things. But I feel
Hmm.
like for right now, one of the things that are very very healthy for you, and most people don't and are not going to do it because most people don't want to be alone. But if a relationship ends, like if you're in a relationship now, don't just end the relationship because I'm saying this, so don't do that. But
Right.
if a relationship of yours end today, or if you're currently single, you have nobody in the house with you, take time alone. Be alone. Being alone, dude,
Oh
you can
man.
you when you're alone with yourself, you can work on a lot of things about yourself. Having a person in front of you is a total distraction. It doesn't allow you to work on yourself. And that's what a lot of people do because they don't want to face reality, because they don't want to face the hurt, because they don't want to apologize because they did something to somebody, because they don't want to be accountable for their actions. What they
Right.
do is they throw themselves into other people as a distraction.
Right. Right. They don't want to deal with just totally,
See,
golly, man, you
Lori,
just, man.
Lori Crawford Rodriguez says so true.
Oh, so true.
Appreciate that, Lori.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Lord. I mean, it is so true. I love spending time by myself. I've always been that way, weird like that. Go to movies by myself, go to a restaurant by myself. I love being by myself, and something. God, I'm always talking about my mom. Something my mom told me. She said, "Never be afraid to be alone." A person who isn't afraid to be alone is a very powerful person because they know what it's like to just 100% totally be alone, and then you can kind of further grow being by yourself, dealing with your issues. And for me, I see a therapist. Okay, I started seeing a therapist back in. I didn't start seeing a therapist right away. After my mom died in 2018, I was dealing with emotions I never dealt with before. Things that I had suppressed as a child and in relationships and in marriages came to the surface. All the wrong and stuff that I've done, it just really came to the surface. And then it revealed some things, those things I suppressed, and what my therapist unveiled and what she uncovered. The things that you have suppressed, you have purposely sabotaged relationships that you've been in. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to never admit that. She
Yep.
said, things, said, Shawn, the lies and the covert operations, living 2 and 3 different lives that you was doing just to try to appease and do. You was dealing, what you were doing, you were using everything as coping mechanism to forget about the things that you have done.
Mm-hmm.
And that doesn't work. And she said you had an emotion reveal itself that you couldn't handle. you were forced back against the wall that you couldn't handle it, so you had no choice but to get the professional help that you needed. But not only does she help me still to this day with just the depth of just dealing with that, because it's something that's hard. And some days I don't want to be bothered. But also in relationships, we talk about when we talked about relationships, here's the thing. She said accountability. When you hold your own self accountable for you, who you are, the dirty, gritty, grimy stuff, who you are, your attitude, your mood swings, your demeanor, what you have in a relationship. When you hold yourself accountable, excuse me, you talking about a beautiful change that takes place that's gonna make you better for the next person that comes along. But you got to admit that there is something wrong on the inside of you that's causing you to treat and have attitude toward people that you're involved with when it comes to the opposite sex. You got to
Yep.
understand it is not their fault. But if the accountability doesn't come into play, change will never evolve and take place.
Yeah.
Change comes from holding your own self accountable. And you should want to hold yourself accountable so you can be better, not only for yourself, but for your partner. If you
Mm-hmm.
really truly love your partner and you want the best that's for them, get all the professional help that you need and don't worry about what they're saying because they're going to talk anyway. But it takes real guts to render yourself vulnerable to get the help that you need so you can keep yourself in that accountable state.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Shoot, right now you got a bunch of millions of people who are on the market who are just broken. And what they've done is all you're doing is you're taking a condemned building, putting some paint on it, and selling it as new. Like, no, that's not no. You got to go do the work. You got to
Right.
renovate this place. You got to check the
Right.
structure. You got to redo the floors. You got to check the plumbing. Electricity is wonky in there, so you got to fix that. You have to do those things. You
Yes, you
see,
do, brother.
Nesco says therapy works only when you apply what you learned, especially what you learned about you. Oh yeah. Say why we mama was
Oh, Ness.
yeah. Yeah.
Man,
Ness
and
say well,
Ness,
why we mama was
that
hitting hard. She was throwing knockout blows.
yeah. And Ness touched on something that's really good. And my therapist brought it up, and I was like, heck no, I'm not talking about this. She was like, Shawn, you have to let people know how you're working through what you're working through.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody needs to hear what you're working through. And then she expounded on, she's like, you're a man. Do you not know how many men need to hear that what you're going through? And she's like, Shawn, when you walked through my door, the first thing you just had this intimidating presence, this guy with all these muscles. And she's like, when you don't smile, you just look like if you're not smiling, Shawn, you look like you would tear somebody's head off. You had this intimidating presence. She's like, I'm a therapist. This is what I do. This is what I got my degree in, my master's in. And she's like, when I saw you walk through the door, she's like, I was automatically intimidated. I was intimidated by your presence before you even spoke to me. But then as you started talking, she's like, this guy's he's a strong dude, but he's a gentle giant. And she did get something out. She's like, you don't let people in. She's like, you do not let people in quickly. I said, no, they have to earn that. I said, because I
Mm-hmm.
got trust issues. And she said, why is that? I said, because I have revealed the darkest, deepest, hurtful, painful things to people, and they've used that as ammunition against me. And I said, it's so hard for me to open up to somebody to really, truly let them in to know Shawn. So what I would give is they get a facade. And she said, you know what? Keep doing that. But as you're going through this, start speaking a little bit about the therapy sessions and what you're experiencing and what you're learning because it's going to help somebody else. And as a man, that's a beautiful thing to see because you're strong. There's no doubt about that. And she's like, you're mentally strong because what you have been through in the past 2 years, she say the average person probably wouldn't even made it. Probably wouldn't have. So obviously you come from a strong family of strong people, and that's what's getting you through is your mental strength. but you're struggling with some things emotionally. So that's why I talk about these things that I actually experience in holding my own. Going to therapy is holding yourself accountable, B. That's exactly what it
Yeah.
is, because you want to get better. You want to be a better man. You want to be a better husband. You want to be a better boyfriend, fiance, brother, cousin, sister. You just want to be a better person. But unless you hold yourself accountable, you're never going to be a better person.
Yeah. Hey, that's the truth right there. And then
Yeah.
piggyback off of that, you got to forgive yourself.
Yeah, man.
Before you can forgive others, you have to
Yeah,
forgive
bro.
yourself.
You
I mean,
have to.
regardless of your past, regardless of what you've been through, regardless of the things you've done, with how you've hurt people, how you made bad decisions, you know,
Right.
those things are in the past. You know, you be accountable for those things, of course, but you have to forgive yourself and you have to let it go. You can't wear those things around your neck. One of the most powerful things I've ever heard in my entire life, Sean, was at Alexander Temple. Church my mom's go to, Ness, Dwight and them go to,
Hmm.
and the pastor, I can't remember which one of them it was, which one of the whether it's Bishop Everett or Bishop McCullers, I can't remember which one it was, but she talked about how man is traveling and he had a backpack on,
Hmm.
and with the backpack, he put all his problems as on his journey. He put all his problems in the backpack. So whatever problem he had, he just put it in the backpack. But in the backpack, he cut a hole in the bottom. So over time, those issues would pass eventually.
Mm.
And I said, man, I said, that messed me up.
Wow.
That messed me up, man. That messed me up. And so that,
Wow.
and then it talked about holding on to things. Like I held on to a lot, man. I was a very angry kid. You know, I held on to so much. I mean, my relationship with my mom wasn't great for a while. My relationship with my dad wasn't great for a while. And then a lot of people hear that and it's like, really? I was like, yeah, because you know, I was angry. I was angry at my mom because my dad wasn't there, angry because of the father that she did choose for me, somebody who wasn't there, angry at her for the decision she made as far as marriage and, you know, me and having to grow up in that house. You know, I was just angry. But as I got older, you know, I realized, and then even with my dad and him, you know, being absent, not being there the way I wanted him to be, you know, I would want to see him every single day, you know, but I got to see him sparingly. But as I got older, I realized, and I looked at things through their eyes, and I realized, man, my dad was a kid. He was a kid,
Right.
man. He was
Right.
a kid. He
He
was
was.
25 when he had me, but I was 25. That's a kid. That's a
Right.
kid, man. I mean, he's
Right.
still trying to figure things out. His mom and his dad is gone. So his direction is gone. And he's just a kid trying to figure things out. Same with my mom. I mean, she made the decisions she felt were best at the time, you
Right.
know. And one thing I can say is that if she did make a mistake, she owned that mistake and she moved on and she was better for it, you know.
Hmm.
And you
Hmm.
know, and now over these last, probably I'll say over the last 5 years, my relationship with both of them has really blossomed. Like I can't go long periods of time without talking to my mom. I can't go long periods of time without talking to my dad. You know, I need to have those things. I need to have that counseling. I need to have those words of wisdom. You know, because now that the relationship has grown and now that it has blossomed, of course, I mean they're everything to me.
Right. Right. And hey, man, dude, you turned out good. So it's something. It's something they did right. You hear me? You
And
know
man,
what
I
I'm
appreciate
saying?
that.
I mean,
So
you
you,
turned out. I mean, but and I was telling your mom this. Golly, man, I want to say, when you came up and you was like, Sean, man, I need to get in shape. I need to help. It was a couple of months ago, and I was telling her, I was like, Robin, I said I love talking to Brandon. Did a good job, girl. I mean, she did a really good job. You know what I'm saying? But you know, so I mean, even not knowing what to do, trying to figure it out and being young, man, look how you turned out though, brother.
yeah,
Look how you turned out. So that had to come from your parents. They
yeah.
had something to do with that. They had a hand in that. I mean,
Shoot, you
so
ask her. Ask her next time you see her. Ask her
right.
how much me and my sister and my brother we thank her day in and day out that she's not like these new age mothers. I thank her
Hmm.
so much. Even though she's
Right.
52. I know some 52-year-old moms who are just they still on the take. They still out there, they still clubbing, they still out doing their thing. They wearing stuff they shouldn't wear. Like, ma'am, you 52,
Right.
you shouldn't wear that.
Right. Right.
Let
Right.
leave that to the young women. That was for 22-year-olds, not 52-year-olds. I thank her so much, because man, I could just imagine where we would be if it wasn't for her. If she didn't what she wasn't smart and she made decisions that was best for herself and us, man. You know.
But you know what, B man, is the piggyback off of that too. When I see women like your mother and other women who carry themselves in a certain way, I always go back to Proverbs when it talks about the virtuous woman. How her price, the book of Proverbs speaks on the virtuous woman, how uh, the price, I mean, her value is even more than rubies. Do you know what the value of a ruby is? Do you
Mm-hmm.
really know what the value of rubies is? They put the virtuous woman in such a standard. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And even though I would talk to your mom, and what I love about your mom is that she's candid and she's the first one to say, I ain't nobody perfect. I love when people say that. I love when they are acknowledging that they are perfectly imperfect. Makes a woman even more virtuous. She's not acting as if she's more than what she is, which even in turns make a woman even more beautiful than walking around acting like, she's the best thing since sliced bread. See, a virtuous woman, she talks different, she walks different, she loves different, she acts different, she dresses differently. The virtuous woman, man, it, it, she hard to find. Look at Proverbs, y'all read it for yourselves.
Yeah.
She is hard to find. The
Yeah.
virtuous woman is extremely hard to find. And I'm like, I see women, nice bodies or whatever, and all this and all that, hanging out or whatever. That's not my place to judge you. You do you. But
Yeah.
when it comes to that virtuosity,
Yeah.
you're not that big girl. I
Yeah.
hate to say it.
So
I hate to say it.
let's go say you can't paint a better picture of you and never look at your own canvas. Man, that's got to.
Ooh,
I need to see that black book
hey,
next. So you got
that,
these
that
quotes,
black
man.
book, man. We want that black book, brother.
I
We
need that
want the
black book
book.
next.
Ness, we
See,
want the
Lisa.
book.
Yeah, Lisa say you will do better when you know better. You have to own all of your shortcomings and keep progressing. Yes, ma'am.
Wow, man. Wow,
Brian
wow.
Boyd, that's my dude. What's up, man? Say y'all going in. Hey, man. Hey, Hey, Brian, you know how I do, man. We got to do it, man. It's Tuesday and it's 420. Hey, we got to
Oh,
go in. Hey, I know
that's
somebody.
that's funny
I know
right there.
somebody
It's
watching
420.
me. I know somebody watching me indulging in 420. Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Appreciate you for
So
watching.
they
Make sure you
so
like
they
and share it.
hey, and they get the full effect in a whole different
Getting
way.
a full effect, man. Full effect.
But yeah, I'm telling you, B, and that's something it's so valuable in a woman is her the virtuousness of her, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we live in an age where women have forgotten about just how virtuous they can be.
Mm-hmm.
They're more than just. And I had this conversation with a client, a young client in her 20s, and I let her know. I said, "You're more than just a pretty face. You're more than just a nice body. There's
Mm-hmm.
more to you than that." You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
at whatever man that you're dealing with, it's his job to let you
Mm-hmm.
know that you are more than just a pretty face and a nice body,
Yes.
and to let you know that you are virtuous, man.
Mm-hmm.
You got to know who you are. But
Yeah. I mean, it's
no,
it's
no.
it's it's different today. It's different on all sides today, Sean. I
It
mean,
is
from
every
a lack
on
of
both, man, on both.
from a lack of virtuous women to a lack of masculine men. I mean, it's
Hmm.
I told you we're in bizarro world, man. We're going backwards, and
We are right.
things always get worse before they get better. So I mean, just people just got to prepare and buckle up, and in the midst of the turmoil, continue to be you, regardless of what's going on around you, regardless of what people have said, regardless of the things that people do. I pride myself on being me. Anybody in any situation I go into, I want people to come away with the impression like, okay, that was Brandon Lampley. That's who he is. That's the kind of man he is. So I think about those things in each and every situation I enter into with other people. You know, I don't want to come off as somebody fake. I don't want to come off as somebody phony. You know, hey, I'm going to tell you how it is. I'm going to tell you how I feel. I'm not going to lie to you. Hey, if I did something to you, if I hurt your feelings or whatever, hey, and you let me know that, hey, I'll apologize for those things. Because, like I
Right.
said, you can't negotiate how somebody felt about something that you did. Holding myself accountable in just in every situation. I mean, hey, this is this way because of Brandon and no one else.
Wow. And Brandon, to expound on that, man, um, and I made a post about this. It was a pretty long post, and I asked, I'm like, as many times as I've given God reason not to love me, He still loves me harder on purpose, and He let me know something. He's like, my blessings, how I bless you, is not going to come from you being fake. How I bless you is not going to come from you appeasing people. How I bless you is not going to come from you blowing smoke. And when I tell people all the time, and I'm gonna touch on this, when I try, my daily strive is to be different on purpose. We can go back to the Bible where it talks about don't conform and transform to society, which is the world.
Yeah,
That's society. So if I'm trying to do different from them, the blessing's gonna come in your true authenticity. That's where it's gonna come from. How do you think he's gonna bless you being fake? He can't bless you being fake. There's no realness in that. There's no rawness in that. So I refuse to walk around eggshells in a world that's sensitive because people we need like this stuff that we're doing right here. This transparent talk, what Kevin Samuels is doing, that transparent talk. See, the transparent talk is where the truth lies, and people get mad at it. But guess what? The big man upstairs gonna keep blessing you in that truth because it's the
yeah,
truth. No one wants
yeah.
to hear that. And people going in on Kevin Samuels, on he this and he that and he this and he's that. But if you
Oh
really
man.
sit down and dissect what this man is saying,
Mm-hmm.
he is giving you valuable information that's going to make you better. He's trying to get you to think at your level of simple mindedness and gut check yourself and be like, you know what? Maybe I do need to change my attitude. Maybe I do need to watch how I talk to these men. Maybe I do need to lose this self entitlement type attitude and mentality. See, I refuse. I refuse. Once my mom died, I made a decision that day. I said, I'm done. I'm done. God and lied for years. They want truth, they finna get it. And guess what? I got so many people so mad at me right now. So many people have cut me off in my transparency. So what he keeps telling me, I'm gonna replace them with better. I'm gonna replace them with something new. I'm gonna give you the people who don't like you, every client that you lost, I'm gonna give you better. I'm gonna give you a better relationship. I'm gonna give you everything better because you're not appeasing and gassing people up with the nonsense. People need to hear brutal truth these days, man, because the world has watered it down and dumbed it down. Society has
Yeah.
done it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
They
See,
done
Ms.
it,
Lisa
man.
say you're going to be blessed when you live in an authentic, vulnerable, and transparent way. Oh yes.
Oh
Yes.
man,
And dude, and
Lisa.
I say it all the time, man.
Wow.
The truth needs to be spoken, man. And it's funny the whole thing with Kevin Samuels. And anytime I hear men give pushback on Kevin Samuels, I always think about the feminization of our culture, the emasculation of men in this country, because they sound like women when they talk about those things.
Oh, that's
You
beta
have an
male. You know
issue.
that's the beta male, B. That's the beta male.
Yeah. You have an issue
Oh
with
yeah.
what this man has been saying about women, supposedly, but Kevin Samuels started talking about men. Dude, his videos with men are way worse than anything he's ever said to a woman.
Oh
Dude,
yeah.
he's straight. Dude, them dudes who come on there thinking they're entitled, man, he kill them. He told the dude, he said, dude, you think you should get choosing signals and you 5'10", 300 pounds, making 1,200 a month. Like, boy, you shouldn't be getting no choosing signal. You need to be in the gym and on the job. That's what he told the guy. So
Oh, now Kevin
you're getting,
Samuels are good to kill a dude about that body, getting that body right.
yeah, he gonna kill you. That's why, yeah, he's gonna kill you about it. So, but like he said, nobody cared when he talked about men. But as
Right.
soon as he started talking about women, and that's where we lose in our society, especially in the black community, where we
Right.
lose is by continuously lying to women. I want the lying to stop. You gotta stop lying. You have to. You have to. Like, and this is
And
no disrespect if this description is somebody who I know,
right.
or if this description is fits you or whatever. This is no person. This is just an example. You want to talk about telling women the truth, baby. You want to talk about you want to level up like Sierra and get you a Russell Wilson, but you working at McDonald's, you 330 pounds, tatted up,
Right.
rude, overweight, the stupid eyelashes with the weave in your hair. Where you leveling
Right.
up to the register? Like, I'm not understanding. Like, come on, man. Like, no, 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 no. Because it's not like she's saying, well, I'm gonna lose this weight. I'm gonna get me a better job. Take better care of my kids. I'm gonna be cooperative. I'm gonna be submissive. And I'm gonna find a man to come in and help me take care of the kids. No, he got to take her exactly the way she is right there. And she think that's a good deal.
Right. Right.
Yeah, no, no, that's no,
And
no.
I've had conversations with women over the past, and I'm not going to divulge any. I'm talking,
I
because
used to say she
I've
loved
been.
Kevin Samuels. I thought so.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know Lisa probably love him. So my thing is, I've had, and one of my buddies, he brought it up. He said, "Man, Sean, how much stuff do you hear all the time? How much stuff have you heard in 27 years of being in the fitness industry and doing consultations with people?" I said, "Man, the stuff I've heard." He said, "Man, I bet you a doctor. I feel like you're a lawyer, a shrink." I said, "I get things." He said, "Sean, you know why people talk to you? Because they know you ain't gonna judge them. You know why they talk to you? Because they know you're gonna keep it right there. You know why they talk to you? Because you're gonna keep it confidential, and you're not going to treat them different based off of anything that they've actually told you. You're gonna stay in that neutral place. And if they ask you for advice, you're actually gonna give it to them." The things that I've heard, I've had conversations with women, and I tell them this. And ladies, here's another nugget for you. Sex isn't about sex with you guys. We men are physical. That's something that they need to feel even closer to you. It's not
Yep.
about the sex. It's about the closeness to you. And the sooner women actually get that, when you defraud that from him, when you take that from him, when you
Mm,
exclude that out of the equation, when things go sideways, that's your fault. That is your fault at the end of the day. If you defraud your man, your boyfriend, whoever it is, whatever situation, when you defraud him and hold yourself back from him, that part where he feels as if, yeah, he feels mentally close, but that physical closeness, men, we need that. We just need that. That's just a part of our DNA. It's a beautiful thing when you think about it at the end of the day that they desire you in that way.
yep.
But getting back to what I was saying, B, I've had tough conversations, uncomfortable conversations with women about, listen, what do you think is going to happen of that fit guy that you have that's always been fit and you just totally let yourself slide? Kevin Samuel touches on, I love that he touches on the body and working out on both men and women's side.
Yep.
And I tell women all of that all day long. I tell them all the time, a fit person has a right to choose whoever they want to see.
Mm-hmm.
And if they wanted to match, they wanted to match. That's their right. And people don't understand, if I'm a dentist and my woman on the side, teeth messed up, how does that make it? I'm a dentist and my woman's teeth is messed up. I'm a trainer and she looked like she ain't never worked out a day in her life. Man, you
Yeah.
gotta understand how that works.
Yeah.
And now listen. I was shallow. I used to be super shallow. Boy, I'm no way shallow the way I used to be. If them toes were wrong, I wasn't even trying to talk to you. If you look like you had banana hands as a female, and you look like you had man hands, and you a woman. I ain't talking. I used to be extremely. Your mama would tell you that. So I can't make that stuff up because there's people out here that know me that know. Yeah, Sean ain't lying about that. I used to be shallow as the, oh my God. I mean, super shallow. But as I got older, my mom pointed it out. She said, baby, you ain't never brought an ugly woman for me to home to see yet. They got hair down their back, perfect faces, perfect bodies. And my answer to her was, Mom, I was like, Mom, we got a match. We have a match. We have to match. But she did tell me something, B, and it stuck with me. She said, baby, if you think all there is to a woman is the way she looks, you got to learn about women. So as I got
Yeah.
older, I learned that. But yet and still, taking care of yourself shows people how much you love you. You love yourself. That ain't nothing but self-love. That's self-care. And
Yeah.
I say it all the time. I love me some me. I
Yeah.
love me some me. So I'm gonna take care of Shawn. You ain't never gonna see Shawn slip. You ain't never gonna see that body slide. I'm gonna take care of me because I know one thing: this body's my temple. This is all I got. So I got to stay on this thing. But
Yeah.
you can't get mad at somebody who's in shape and they got a great body and they not paying you no attention, baby. So don't get mad at that. Please don't get mad at that because what's wrong with that? And
Yeah.
when Kevin Samuels touch on it, and women or dudes are getting their feelings, you getting your feelings because it's true. You have let yourself
Yeah.
go. You
Yeah.
have, and to walk around and act like it's okay. No, it ain't okay, baby. It ain't okay to be on all that medication and all that stuff and barely making up a flight of steps. No, it's not okay. So don't get mad at the person or getting your feelings because they don't want you because your body ain't up to par.
Yeah. I
Again,
mean, yeah, you can't.
yeah.
And guys understand that. Even me as a man understand that. Man,
Oh
I
yeah,
told you, 30 years old kicked me in the teeth. When I hit 30, 30, 30 came up to me and jacked me up, man. Hey, I did a show with Nesco's son Trey, who I showed let you listen to some of his music. I told him,
right.
I said, Trey, he 22. I said, Trey, listen, this is what 30 did to me. 30 pulled up in an all black Impala. Hey, with the they jumped. Hey, jumped out the car with all black on with a ski mask, playing Chicago freestyle by Drake, and pummeled me into the ground and told me I was a failure. Told me I was fat. Told me I was a loser. It told me
Right,
everything. And that's
right,
when I woke up and I was like, I'm a walking billboard. And what is the
right,
message I'm displaying when I go place to place? I say, I don't like it. Regardless of what other people see, I don't like what I see. So now it's time
right.
to change. That's where accountability comes in and you being accountable. I say,
Mm,
Nesco say when
mm.
accountability comes back to the black community, then a lot of these unsolved murders will get solved and these shootings in our community will stop. We're gonna be waiting a
Mm.
long time, Ness.
A long time, Ness.
We
You
we
probably
know
be dead
how
long
our
when that happens, Ness.
yeah, yeah. Say Lisa say your outward appearance is a manifestation of how you feel about yourself on the
Ooh,
inside.
yeah, man.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah, man. I say it all the time. Your body's a representation of your lifestyle. So, um, it's not there is nothing wrong with that. And please, with all due respect, women out there, I don't want you to think I'm one of them, dudes be harping bad on people's bodies, but I'm trying to get you to understand the logic behind it. A person has the right to choose who they want, especially when they're taking care of their bodies. So don't get mad, don't get in your feelings. Just do better.
Yeah.
That's all you got to
And
do is just
remember,
do better.
it's something that you can change. So we're not, hey,
Yeah.
we're not, yeah, it's
Yes.
something that you can change. Anybody can get up, pick some weights up, and put them down day after day and change their body. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, change your eating, change your diet, cardio, and all those things. You can do those things. Those are things you can't control. Now, it's certain things you can't control. Like as far as men, you can't control our height. It's just what it is. It's how I was born.
Right.
I can't control my facial structure as a man, even though I'm handsome. You know what I'm saying? No, it is what it is. You know, hey, I'm part of the
Nothing
handsome
wrong with it,
club. It
brother.
is what it is. Hey, we part of the handsome club. It is what it is.
Hey, no, nothing wrong
But
with it. Nothing wrong with it.
you have no control over those things, as a man. But what can you control? You can control your body. You can control your finances. You can control your mental health. You can control a lot of things. You know, so control the things that you can control, except where you fall short and things that you can't control, man. because it's a lot of the especially with accountability and apologizing. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a lot of people who do not love themselves, man. They don't. You gotta love yourself, man. I'm so tired of hearing about these celebrity women getting botched jobs done on their bodies. I mean, dude, you had what K Michelle, where she was dancing and the implant in her butt went flat, and then you had another IG model, it burst. And then you had the girl, I think her name Hazel E from Love and Hip Hop. She just had a botched procedure, I think, done on her face. I mean, you have women dying from getting butt injections. They was getting fixed or flat put in their butts, man. You have to love yourself. You got to accept yourself for how you are and let yourself get old. Older women are not supposed to compete with younger women, not physically. Not physically. Physically, because there's no contest. Let's be honest. There's no contest. You can't compete with a younger woman. You can't.
No.
You make up for it in other ways.
Exactly. Exactly. And I love how you use the and see B us talking about bodies and taking care of ourselves. That's holding yourself accountable.
You got to hold yourself accountable.
Taking care of your body is holding yourself accountable, ladies and men, for that matter. Taking care of your body is holding yourself accountable. But B, you're so right, man. There's so many gorgeous women out here. But I don't. Women nitpick them. Women don't give themselves no credit. They nitpick themselves to death. They compare themselves
Yes.
to what they see on social media. Compare themselves to what they see in their day-to-day life, and they don't understand that you can enhance your body by just working at it. Is it gonna take
Yes.
time? Then liposuction and all these butt implants and all that stuff, whatever.
Contouring, body contouring, and all of that.
For me, I'm not even attracted to none of that stuff. I
Nope.
want the realness. I want the softness. I I don't want, I don't want no, man, that butt feeling like as hard as my muscles, man. Who? I don't want that. I'm sorry. I don't want it. I don't want it. And to me, it doesn't, it's not really a good look. You know,
Mm-hmm.
if a man needs, if he's going to accept you in your true, authentic self, how can he do that when you are fake from head to toe?
Mm-mm.
Where's the realness and the filters? These filters. Listen, hold yourself accountable. If that ain't what you look like, stop smoothing it out. Stop catfishing people through filters and stuff and thinking them
You not light
that's not what
skinned.
you're not like
You not
that,
light
man.
skinned. You
You
not
know,
light
and
skinned.
then the dude see you in person, you got all kind of stuff on your face. I'm like, hold on, who was that person who's that person that I saw on Instagram, Facebook
Like, yo,
like that?
she
Who was
darker.
that
She
person?
darker than me. She
Yeah.
darker than me.
So I'm like, and I didn't even know anything about how the filters work until I had a client show me. I was like, who got the time to do that? And she said, Shawn, you busy. You ain't got time to do that. I'm like, man, she said, dudes are doing it. And I saw that. I was like, dudes are filtering themselves. I'm like,
Yep.
putting muscles and you ain't got none. Man, stop that.
Yeah.
Stop that.
Yeah.
Michelle over there laughing at it. But still, I'm like, the filter, man, just be who you are. If you want somebody to accept you, you gotta truly be who you are.
Yeah.
And
Shoot,
they
that's what
accept you at
Lisa.
face value. Yeah.
Yeah, Lisa say confidence has no competition.
Oh,
Mm.
Lisa's stealing my words. She take you just Lisa, you just stole my words. I'm gonna let you have that though. But I need you to pay me for that. I'm just joking. But yeah, confidence has no competition, man. Because I say that all the time. Confidence has
Yeah.
no competition.
Yeah, I tell my like my sister and my mom, just the women in my family, period. They'll get their times and they dress up and they'll put their makeup on. And my sister has the thing with them lashes where every time she blink, it look like this. And I swear, every time she blink, it look just like this, like she waving at me. Hello, hey, how you doing? This, and then the caked up makeup and all the hair and all that. And I
Ooh,
tell her
baby.
anytime they ask me about it, well, how does it look? I was like, it's all right. But remember, these are women who majority of the time when I see them, they're what are they? Fresh face, not all that stuff on. It's just their bare
Mm-hmm.
face. And I'll
Mm-hmm.
tell any woman, like, the sooner I see your bare face, the better, because I know that's how I'm going to see you majority of the time. So I need to see that like tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah,
That is huge. That is that is so huge, brother. That's
yeah,
huge, man. Boy, you hitting on some stuff today, B.
yeah.
Boy,
Hey,
you hit.
we an hour 10 in.
Hey, man, it's all good, man. But that's what it's about, man. It's just about, hey, man, us just putting this stuff out there, man. But it's real, authentic conversation, man, that needs to be talked about. And again, if you sitting here listening to the dialogue, we ain't out here bashing anybody. We're just out here talking in,
No.
in pure truthness, just
Mm-mm.
pure truth. It
Because
is what it is, man.
I would never vilify you for things that you can't change. No, I'm
Right,
not going to
right,
vilify you for things you can't change. Those are things you can't change. They are what they are. So there's no need for me to talk about those things. But things that are
right.
in your full control, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it at all. See, confidence has no competition and ugly has no equal. So be confident even if you're ugly. Oh my God. Nesco.
Ooh, that's a good one. I,
That's a
I
good one
you,
though.
that's a
That's a good
good
one.
one, Ness, man. That is,
Hey,
but it's so true, man. It's so true what the
yeah,
brother's saying, man.
yeah,
Society has brainwashed people to where society can brainwash people to so much they don't even like themselves or love themselves, not even
man.
how they look, and that's so
Like,
sad, man. It's sad.
Sean, it's guys right now who they got the look, Sean. That quintessential
Right,
look that women want. They got that look. Whether they
right,
tall or they're handsome, they
right,
really fit and they look like a new man on the Minnesota Vikings, as Lizzo
right,
says.
right.
If they look like that, they look like that. And these guys are struggling with women. They struggle dating. They struggle with all that because
Where's yours?
at the end
Where's
of
your
the day,
Where's your phone?
at the end of the day, their outward appearance may be a 10 in most minds, but inward,
Right.
how do they feel inward? And then two, confidence. Confidence. How do you feel about yourself? How your game? Can you talk? How are you? Are you beta? That's a big one. Are you beta? Because one thing about it, regardless of how you look or what you have, women gonna sniff out the phony and the fake. That's why I
Oh,
will give
all
women
day.
credit for it. I will
They
give
good
women
at
so
that.
much credit.
They
Women
good
so
at
much
that,
credit
boy.
is that they can tell the phony from the fake, when it comes to it. And that's why I don't cut them no slack when they make bad decisions, because you already
Right.
knew what was up and you chose to do it anyway.
Yeah. You know what you signed up for.
You knew what you signed up for
You
because you knew.
knew what you was signing up for.
Oh,
It's like,
Nesco say society is killing self-esteem. Yeah, they are.
oh, Nesco. But Nes, it's so sad to see um, that people have relinquished a validation of who they are, their looks over into society.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I beg people literally all the time, please stop following society, man.
Yeah.
Please quit letting society tell you your looks ain't good enough, your body's not good enough, how to love, what type of man to choose. Stop letting society dictate your moves, because
Yeah.
that ain't the move.
Yeah.
If the worst move a person can make is listening and following and adhering and complying with society want them to do, as far as how they live on a daily basis,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to the looks, man. That's
Yeah.
it's
You,
it's
you
it's sad, man.
you know how backwards we are today, Sean? If a 21-year-old girl right now says that I don't want to go to college, I don't want to pursue a career, I just want to find a husband, I want to have kids and take care of my husband and my children for the rest of my life, she gets shamed today. Oh my goodness. Like, women who don't want to climb the corporate ladder and who want to be with a man, who want to cooperate with a man, who wants to, dare I say, submit to a man, any of those things, man, they get shouted down. They get called pygmies. They get talked about. And I'm like, how do we get so far away from what was normal and what is normal to human beings? How do we get like that?
You know, B, I think about that every day. I mean, B, I really try to timeline it every day. It's trying to see where did it go wrong, because B, if we can go back to the 90s, it was nothing like this in the 90s. Nothing. I would say toward the end of the 90s, that's when things really started hitting. It's just really things started to change. I remember when the internet came about, and I used to hear people talk about and say that's the worst thing that was ever created. I remember having conversations when the internet first came out with people, and I'm young, and I'm looking, I'm like, what y'all talking about? I see it now. He was 100%
Mm-hmm.
right. The worst thing, because there's some good things about the internet. There's so many bad things about it. There's got people feeling horrible about themselves based off of what they're seeing out there,
Yeah.
and that's sad, man. It's so sad that a woman she she is she is labeling herself based off based off what society puts out, based off what they see on Instagram. It's a shame. She has pretty much depleted her own self worth off
Yeah.
society.
And men have dumbed themselves down to
Oh
being,
yeah,
you're either, for us, you're either wallet, or you're seen as some type of utility, and you basically off of what you provide. So most men now think that, shoot, if I don't make this amount, if I don't have these things, if I can't take care of this, if I can't do those things, then I'm not worthy, I'm not a real man. And regardless of what you have in your bank account, regardless of what you look like, regardless of what you accomplish, those things don't make you a man. you know Being a man and being your own mental point of order and pursuing the things you want to pursue, standing on your square and being accountable with yourself, those are the things that will make you a man. Getting chicks, like, 'cause a lot of young guys, they think that that's what makes you a man. No, we could,
but you
as the studies we've done, we've seen now, and now the internet. I will say the internet is probably the best and worst things that has happened to our society, because the tool that the internet has enabled us to do so many things. It's a very, very vast, the amount of information that we get and the things we're able to accomplish because we now have the internet. And because of that, hold on, let me see. Our Nesco says society has these young people all screwed up. Boys don't want to be boys. Girls don't want to be girls. Society has confused them into, I'm a boy that feels like a girl, so I'm a boy that looks like a girl. And girls say, I feel like a boy, so I'm a girl that looks like a boy. Just sad. Oh man, you can identify with whatever you want to identify. Apparently, there's 209 genders. So there's 209 genders, as they say. It was 188, but they bumped it to 209 the other day. So yeah, but hey, and one thing about that, which I don't care what your orientation is, what you identify as,
right,
who you deal with, that's on you. But to what point do I have to participate in what you got going on and how you feel about you? You know,
mm-hmm,
like, okay,
mm-hmm,
yeah, you feel this way, but why do I got to participate in that? I got to adhere to that? No, no, I
mm,
don't. Like, I got to switch up my pronoun game because you feel a certain way. Like, why? Why would no, no? Mm-mm.
mm, mm.
Yeah,
Wow.
and that's what I say. What? Wow. Yeah,
I,
yeah. And
B, I didn't even know that about all those genders, man. I don't even know what to say about that. I don't even
we
know
in clown
how
world, man.
that is so crazy,
We in clown world, and homie ain't coming out to hit people with the sock and say he don't play that. I mean, it's just what it is.
brother. On that statement alone, I'm dumbfounded. I'm pretty much lost for words now. I don't even know. I don't even know what to come back. I don't even know what to say, man, about that, man. It's, I'm still trying to wrap my head around that, man. 200,
Yeah.
200.
Mm-hmm. 200 genders, they say. Because they all, man, it's once you go down that rabbit hole, man, it gets kind of ridiculous. But at the end of the day, you can be whatever you want to be, but I can identify you however I want to identify you. That's just me as a person. That's what that's me, you know.
Right,
And some people
right,
may feel like, oh, that's wrong. You need to call people what they identify as, or what they feel like they are, and this and that and the third. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do it. Now, I will do those things to be courteous to somebody. I will do
right.
those things, if that's what somebody wants, and I want to do those things for them, then yes, I will do those things. But I don't have to do anything. Jordan
Right.
Peterson got pushed back by about that not too long ago. The doctor from Canada. He's gotten very
Hmm.
popular. But he said, you can't force me to do any of those things. You can't force me to use these languages. You can't force me to recognize somebody as something they identify. You can't make that law. I do what I want to do.
Right.
And I don't think people really get that.
They
Hey,
don't,
Nesco,
man.
Nesco say you are not alone, Sean. Unbelievable. Oh yeah, Nesco's like he can't believe it too. Hey, just look it up, Nes. Do some research on it. It's crazy. It is what it is. But let's see,
Wow.
we're hour 20 in. I know you got some clients coming in, so let's wrap this
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
This was
man.
a good
Yeah,
talk,
definitely.
man.
It was
Hey, we
good,
could go
brother.
for another hour.
We
No,
sure
no lie,
can
we can go
be.
for another hour. Yeah,
B, we got to
we go
do
for
this on
another
a
hour.
Saturday or Sunday one time, man.
Oh yeah,
We got to
yeah,
do it.
yeah,
We got
yeah,
to do.
yeah,
We got to do a weekend podcast, man.
yeah,
I ain't got
yeah,
clients, and we can just rap. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
We can chop it
And we
up.
could just rap. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
man.
Yeah,
God.
matter of fact, we'll come up with some topics and we'll see. But definitely, man, we gotta continue to have conversations like this because it's needed. And like you said, especially about accountability, men need to show their low lights more. Hey, everything
Right.
with social media now is about the highlights. Anytime you go to YouTube
Right.
and you type in an athlete's name or an actor's name, you see highlights. No, 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 no. We need to see lowlights. The boys need
Right.
to see lowlights. They need to
Right.
see skinny Sean. They need to
Right.
see broke Sean. They need to see
Right.
Sean who
Right.
did not have. They need to see
Right.
Brandon who did not have. They need to
Right.
see those things because
Right.
when they see
Right.
you just like this, they think that, oh, it's just going to come to me like that. That's not how life works,
It
especially
sure
as a
ain't, brother.
man.
It
Especially
don't.
as a man.
But my brother said something. Me and my brother's having a conversation. I want to say about it was a couple of years ago, man. He was like, because I talked to him, like, hey, man, I'm coaching this person. They want to do this or whatever. And he said, Sean, man, he said, I've seen everything you went through in hustling your way through this business to get to where you are, where you got your own voice and you standing in your own power. He said, people see, they don't see them long nights. They don't see the hell you went through. They don't see, the failures. They don't see the up and downs of it. They don't see the good 1 month or 6 months and then the bad, the couple of months where you like, okay, what's going on? He said they just see the now. They don't see the journey of it. They don't
Mm-hmm.
see what you went through. Because if people saw what you went through, they would probably be like, okay, maybe that's not as easy as it looked because the person is making it look easy. He said people just they don't see the trials and tribulations you went through to get to that point, to where you are. All they see is that it came easy. They don't know that you've been in that game for years. I'm talking about years.
Yep.
You're talking about 20 some years, brother.
Yeah.
Years. So and you're right, B. People need to see those things. They need to see the downside to compare to the now. You
Yeah.
know, I posted a picture, B, and we wrap this up. I posted a picture of skinny Sean,
Mm-hmm.
no muscle Sean, compared to me right now. People like what? And all people's inboxing me is like, man, how long did it take? I said years,
Years.
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 Patience, due diligence, consistency, determination, drive. That's right, Michelle. Diet, what you putting into your body. And people just
Mm-hmm.
don't understand. And when people come to me and say, okay, Sean, can I get this in 90 days? I said, man, get out of here, man. I'm not an infomercial, bro. This takes work, man. And if you are talking about getting 230 pounds of muscle, man, you better be you better be, forget about months, think years.
Yeah.
It takes time. And anybody who is true blue to fitness will let you know if you are doing fitness as overnight success, you're gonna fail and you're gonna fail big because it don't come that way.
Mm-hmm.
It takes time. It takes time. I ain't
Yeah.
come my mama womb looking like this. I mean, my grandma used to pick at me all the time. It's like, boy, your butt's so flat like you got water in your britches. I remember the conversations. I remember that. I remember that. Stop laughing, Michelle. I remember that. I
Mhm.
remember that. But boy, I know she's looking up there like, man, look at my grandson now. That boy
Yeah.
built like a brick house. But it was work. It was, but B, I
It was
wanted
work.
it. I wanted it. B, me and you had a conversation. B, it's all about how bad you want it and how hungry
Yes.
he is to get it. And if you hungry, like I was starving for it, I said, I'm gonna do whatever it takes to get my body look like a cartoon character. That's what I want. I wanted it. I wanted it. And once you get it, all it becomes is like maintenance on a car. You just got to
Yep.
maintain it. You can keep it.
Yep.
You just got to do the things to do in order to keep it. But it's gonna take work, people, and that's on anything though. B, you
Yeah.
know,
I got a
it's just like
suggestion for those.
what you
I
got.
got a suggestion real quick for those who think it's quick or they want that 90-day or that they want something done in a couple of months or whatever. I got a suggestion. Get you a VHS of Billy Blank's workout, and when they ask you, just hand them that and say, "Hey, do this for 90 days," and then there you go. Because if you believe that, if you believe you're gonna be able to do that, yeah. See, Carlene Sadler says, "Interesting. Thanks, gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in, Carlene."
Thanks, Colleen. Thanks, Colleen.
See, Lisa says, keep being a shining example for other men. There are women who will be appreciative of that. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That's true.
And you
That's
can
true.
never
That's true.
tell how good a movie is if all you ever watch is the credits. You got to see the
Ooh,
whole movie.
this dude right here, man. What we gonna do about this
Yeah.
cat? B, what we gonna
Hey,
do about this, man?
get him on video.
Yeah, you got to. Hey,
Yeah.
you need to have a segment with Ness so I can sit there and tune in. Like, man, this brother be coming out with some stuff. You hear me? Ness, boy,
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel you, bro. Boy, you something else. Man, that's awesome.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right, man. B, I got to get to these people,
Got to
man.
get out of here. All right, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You see all my information down here at the bottom. Tune in. Hey, Shawn Taylor, Taylor Made for You. You can find him on Facebook. What other social media you got?
Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. I got everything except Snapchat.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Yeah, everything, man. Everything.
All right, man. So hey, we'll be back with another video soon. So we'll see, we'll coordinate
Very
it, and
soon.
we'll be back with some more stuff. So hey, man, y'all keep tuning in, keep supporting, like, share, and subscribe, man. Hey, but we out of here, man. Peace out.
Peace. All right.